God, I really need a smoke. Does anyone object? Guess not. Dead people rule.
Hey there. You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with Kathy Rain. Kathy Rain is a 90s-inspired murder mystery, or I should say mystery adventure game. And Kathy Rain is going to find herself embroiled in circumstances which lead to her becoming a detective. Kathy is a 90s kind of a cynical goth girl, maybe I might put it that way. She is a Harley rider. She's a badass. And she's here in a graveyard. Let's hold C to display the controls while I tell you a little bit more about this game. So Kathy Rain is coming out to Steam on May 5th. And I want to thank the developers and the publishers of this game. Clifftop Games is the developer, and the publisher is Raw Fury. And I also want to give a special shout out to David Martinez for providing me with the demo so that I could bring it here to you on the channel so that you could get all pumped for this really cool game. This game may remind some of you of Wadget Eyes games, particularly Blackwell Epiphany. And those games are definitely an influence, I think. But I also know that Dave Gilbert, who is one of the creators of Blackwell Epiphany and one of the creators and developers at Wadget Eye Games, is responsible for the awesome voice talent in this game. So I had C up to display controls. It's pretty simple. You want to hold the mouse down to look around you. You can...
No time for that now. I'm late for the funeral.
Look around and we can find out now why Kathy is here. A funeral. Let's head over here. Have a look around. One of the neat things about this game is that you can look at, you can think about, which is cool, or you can enter, or talk to, or activate, or something of that nature.
A family mausoleum. The family must have been fairly rich. Those things don't come cheap.
Nope.
It says price.
Price. So, we are outside of this funeral area. I wonder who the funeral is for. Let's find out.
We are gathered here today to honor a person of great integrity, a pillar of the community, and a decorated war hero. His name was Joseph Irving Rain. We all remember his warm heart, his compassion, and his eagerness to help others. His passing, while our loss, is surely heaven's gain. Now we entrust our brother Joseph to God's mercy. We commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ, who will transform our frail bodies so they may be conformed to his glorious body, who died, was buried, and rose again for us. To him be glory forever. Amen.
Oh, Kathy, you big baby. Just talk to her.
All right, well, then let's do just that. Let's talk to her as we stand outside Conwell Springs, where we are going to find that things are definitely more sinister than a little town might attest to. This is Mrs. Rain. Let's look at her. Maybe she's Kathy's mom.
Mary Elizabeth Rain, my grandmother on my father's side.
Or not. So let's bone up and talk to her.
Excuse me? Mrs. Rain?
Have we met, hon? You look strangely familiar.
It's me. It's Catherine.
Catherine who?
You don't recognize me? I guess it's been a while. I might be a bit taller than you remember me.
Kathy? Bless my soul. Look at you all grown up. Oh, how I wish Joseph could see you now, finally coming home.
Let's hope he can. Wherever he is.
A comforting thought, dear. Lord, how long has it been? 10 years? 15?
15 sounds about right. I was 6 when Mom took me away.
Goodness, we have some catching up to do then. I want to know everything. Listen, I'm not quite ready to leave yet, but why don't you join me at the house in half an hour?
Sure, I'd love to. I passed it on my way here. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
I'll see you soon then. I'm so glad you found your way back home. I can't wait for us to have a chance to talk.
Same here. See you in a bit.
Added Grandma's house, and we can make our way to the Harley. Ah, the clergy. No opportunity. Look at priests, talk to priests.
It's the priest who performed the service here.
Yeah.
You don't want to get me started. Let's just say me and the humble servants of God have a history of not getting along.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm
All right,
sorry
well.
for your loss.
Thanks.
If you wish to find God, the Church of the Holy Trinity is always open to you.
Is that so?
Certainly, it's never too late to turn away from the path of sin.
You know, this guy's kind of presumptuous. You know, what does he know? But, let's, find out what we're supposed to do for fun instead.
No sin. But what am I supposed to do for fun?
Behind those words is a deep wound, a desire to belong. If you let him, Christ can fill that void.
Oh, please don't make Christ fill my void. I'm
Thank you.
totally not up for that.
The crude facade of a lost soul. I'll pray for you. I wish you comfort in this time of grief.
Yeah. I actually know and am friends, in fact, best friends with a chaplain. And they're not like that guy. Now, that guy was annoying. I think he needs to have a come to Jesus meeting. Okay, so Rain residence. And here's Kathy on her Harley. This was the first image that I saw of Kathy Rain, and I thought, oh yeah, definitely bringing this game to the channel. So, let's hit the Rain residence. Vroom.
Grandma, anybody home?
So some of you might be wondering about the black bars on the, or well, actually there'll be a graphic behind the video. This game is intentionally created in a 4:3 aspect ratio to keep the experience extremely 1995. Yeah. So, when you get the game on Steam, there's not a problem. You cannot play it. Well, I mean, you can play it at 1920 by 1080 or some other widescreen resolution, but it'll look really funky. So this is the way the developers intended it. Let's look around a little bit.
Nice black leather coat. Right up my alley.
One of the things I like
Your
is
single pair of boots on display. Boy, do we live in different worlds.
that the developers don't make us have to go through little mini menus just for things that we can look at.
Dogfighting. Grandpa used to love that stuff.
Ah, so maybe he was a pilot.
Some kind of winter forest scene. I've always wondered if it's supposed to be Conwell Woods or not.
Conwell Woods. Must be woods outside of this this town. A red horse?
Cute red horse. It's some old Swedish thing, I think. This paint looks fresh. Grandma must have had this restored recently.
A wheelchair.
An old wheelchair. Not too dusty. Probably used recently.
Maybe that was the deceased's way of motoring about.
Huh. Never seen this around. Grandpa must have used it towards the end.
Yep. And look at that old school phone. How cool is that? No cell phones in this game, I'm pretty sure. Let's see if Grandma is in residence.
Oh, hello, dear. I was just wondering what took you so long.
Sorry, I couldn't resist taking that old wheelchair for a spin. Oh, don't give me that look. I put it back.
You haven't changed one bit. Always kidding around, just like when you were little. Come, have a seat. We have so much to talk about. So, now, tell me about your life in the city.
Oh, there's not much to tell. I'm going to school for journalism. It's my second year. I ride a motorcycle in case you missed it there out front.
Oh, that's right. Just like your father.
Yeah, I suppose.
I must ask, have you heard anything from your father? Anything at all?
No, nothing since he bailed way back then.
I expected as much. He disappeared without a trace. No matter, that's ancient history. How's Sharon then?
Sharon. To tell the truth, you had her committed to a mental institution. Definitely want to know about that.
Mom is... I had her committed to a place where she could get some real help. I just couldn't take it anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that. In spite of everything that happened when she took you away.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry I didn't visit sooner, Grandma. Mom, she told me all these horrible lies about you and Grandpa. When I was old enough to understand what she was doing, I felt like it was much too late.
It wasn't your fault, dear. You were a mere child. I'm just happy that you're here now.
Me too. So, what about you? How have you been doing all these years?
I've been lonely ever since the accident. There's no denying that.
What accident?
Goodness gracious. Of course you don't know. She took you away before it all happened.
Don't know what.
I will never forget that dreadful day. August 16th, 1981. It was the middle of the night when Sheriff Truman knocked on our door. He had Joseph with him. I couldn't even recognize Joseph at first, all dirty and wet with an awful blank stare on his face, like his soul had been ripped from his body. Since that day, he never spoke a word, forever confined to that blasted wheelchair.
Really? For all this time? I had no idea.
It came as a shock to all of us.
That's horrible, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, dear.
And that brings up our notebook with our inventory down here. We have a stun gun. That's going to come in handy. A Zippo lighter and a pack of cigarettes. Let's talk about this incident.
Why do you think Grandpa suddenly left that night in 81?
I haven't the faintest idea. He acted very peculiar not long before it happened, disappearing for hours at a time. At first, I even suspected he was having an affair. When I asked him about it, he just said he was chasing old demons. It must have had something to do with the war.
Chasing old demons. Perhaps that was some sort of stress-related.
Maybe it was post-traumatic stress disorder? Grandpa always had a hard time showing weakness.
I don't know, dear. I'm just speculating. I didn't think too much of it at the time. Joseph was a man of few words. I'm sure he just didn't wish to burden me with it, whatever it was.
So, what did the doctors say about this vegetative state?
What did the doctors have to say about Grandpa's condition?
Persistent vegetative state. That's what they call it. I've heard it all by now. One doctor said it was a stroke. Another claimed it was a seizure. The third hack tried to sell it off as a severe infection. It's all a load of tripe. I had an MRI performed on Joseph. It's one of those state-of-the-art head scans.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes, well, according to the scan, his brain was completely intact. They thought it was a technical problem at the time, some kind of glitch, but the result was the same after 3 different scans on 3 different machines. Eventually, they had to confess that they simply had no credible explanation for the state he was in.
And this injury just happened to occur on the very same night he mysteriously disappears?
Indeed. I refuse to believe it was a coincidence.
Our mystery is developing. Let's see, speaking of mysteries, if police have done any solving.
What did Sheriff Truman have to say about the matter?
Not much. He He said they simply found Joseph in that condition on the outskirts of town. The sheriff was convinced there was some kind of foul play involved, but the investigation turned up nothing. He later said that he was sorry, but that he was forced to close the case.
And of course, we're going to offer to help. You know, we've got nothing else going on right now, so let's do a little snooping and a little nosing about.
You know, I could try to find out more about this.
You're welcome to try, dear. Some kind of closure would mean the world to me.
Okay, I think I'll head over to the sheriff's station for a little chat then. Would be nice to witness police doing some actual police service for once.
Sure, you go ahead. Let me know if I can be of any more help.
New location added. Let's close this
Bye,
up.
Grandma. I'll be back later.
So long.
So the music is louder than I would have wanted it to be if I were recording the full game. Because this is a demo, there are no settings to change the different volumes. So we'll just have to kind of, sometimes the words will get a little drowned out, but I might paraphrase what the characters have said.
Grandpa in his Air Force uniform. Looks to be in his early 20s. Planes, and more planes.
Ah, booze. Yes, please.
It would be kind of funny to see her reaction, but no.
Okay, fine. Sideboard.
I used to love digging through those drawers when I was a kid, looking for coins, buttons, and trinkets. Grandpa and me, we had this game where he would hide pennies around the house and I would go on a treasure hunt. Never in the attic, though. I thought it was too scary up there.
Oh, so naturally we're going to the attic.
There's nothing quite like the soothing sound of rain falling on a window.
And let's look at the bookshelf.
A decent-sized book collection. Most of them science or history related from the looks of it.
All right, well, I think it's time to hit the police station and see what we can dig up. One of the things that's neat about Kathy Rain is since it's raining outside here, it's raining in the transition screen, which is a neat touch. Let's head to the sheriff's station. Vroom. Okay, so,
Land of the free.
yeah.
A bunch of cops lining up for a photo.
Hey, Sheriff?
Various notices
What's the deal with that
and
bum?
a wanted poster.
What bum?
The one in the cell.
Oh, I thought it was with you.
Well, shit.
There's a bum in the cell that neither of them know how he got there. I'm all of a sudden very confident in our local police force. Let's take a look at this
Some
guy.
young cop. Looks a bit familiar.
Let's find out more about him.
Hi.
Hello.
Do I have to commit a crime to get your attention? Because I seriously will.
Ma'am, I'm really quite busy at the moment. Hey, wait. I know you.
I'm pretty sure you don't.
Yes, I do. You're Kathy. Kathy Rain.
My reputation precedes me, in a kind of but not totally creepy way.
Aw, come on. It's me, Lenny. Lenny Marks.
It's especially creepy since there's like no social media at this time. No Twitter existed at this point. So we could just be honest and say we have no idea who he is, or let's pretend to recognize him.
Oh, right. Lenny. Long time no see, buddy.
Ain't that the truth? I suppose you came to town for the funeral?
Yep, that's right.
Sorry for your loss. Joseph was a great guy before, well, you know.
Yeah, he really was.
So, anyway, what can I do for you today?
So I think we'll play Kathy Rain in this demo as sort of loose with the truth. Let's talk about that incident with our new friend, Lenny Marks.
I wanted to ask if you know anything about my grandfather's accident.
I really don't know much beyond the rumors. The sheriff may have more information, but even he probably doesn't know anything that isn't in the report. It happened before either of us worked here.
Okay, I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff then.
Sure thing. His office is to your right.
All right, then let's...
Well, gotta go.
See ya.
I was wondering what happened if I just like tried to stun him. Can I just like stun him? No. Think about stun gun.
NZ500 self-defense stun gun. Fully charged.
I'll bet it is.
A girl can never be too safe.
Absolutely. Stun him and then light his pants on fire. Okay. Or we could go talk to the chief.
Paperwork coming along, Lenny?
Okay, I guess. Maybe halfway through.
That's no good. We're gonna have to cancel lunch today.
Again? Oh, man.
Your motivation shouldn't be limited by your growling stomach, Lenny.
If you say so, boss.
I don't know. My motivation is severely limited by my growling stomach.
That must be the sheriff. He looks grumpy. Hello, Sheriff. Do you have a moment?
Not really. Make it quick.
I'm surprised we can just wander in here.
Do you know what happened to Joseph Rain in 81?
He had a stroke in the woods. That's what happened.
If that's all there is, why would Sheriff Truman open an investigation?
It was just standard procedure. A general occurrence report always has to be filed.
I see. Did you know him at all?
No, I haven't been in town for long. Man sure has one hell of a reputation, though. It's been over a decade since he was put in that wheelchair, and people still talk about the man he used to be. It's like he was a cult leader or something.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
Could be, but you know what they say. Things too good to be true usually are.
So, that police report, could I get my little hands on that?
Could I have a look at that report?
Absolutely not. They're official police documents.
Why not? I thought filed police reports are public record.
Not in this state, they ain't.
Aw, come on. I'm family.
Family. Doesn't that count for something?
You consider yourself family? I've never even seen you before in this town.
It's complicated.
Guess what's complicated? Not to mention illegal. Handing out evidence to anyone who asks for it.
Lenny'll back me up. We used to play together. Practically in the same crib.
Lenny, a little help here? Don't you agree that he's taking by the book too far?
Well, boss, she is his granddaughter, really. I don't think it's any...
Don't you think I know that? There are rules. Am I the only one in here who cares about the law?
Too much coffee? Try not to pop a vein.
You want to see the inside of a cell?
Oh, cuff me, officer. Spare me the torment of your rhetorical questions and veiled threats.
Just follow the rules like everyone else. I've had enough of this nonsense.
Fine.
Well, we told him. So, there's files back here. Ooh, wait a
Randy,
minute.
I need you to do something.
Tons of
How can I help,
miscellaneous
boss?
files. I don't
It's
see
my mother's
anything
birthday
labeled as
this weekend.
police reports,
You'll have
so
to get her
those
a
must
gift.
be elsewhere.
Gift? Like what? I don't really know your mother.
For Christ's sakes, all moms are the same. Just use your imagination. I'm expecting something nicely wrapped on my desk by the end of the week.
Okay, boss.
Yeah, get his mother something. I recommend lingerie. That always goes over really well. So let's see if we can get Lenny to look at these let us look at these files.
Lots of police reports, organized alphabetically by the looks of it.
I love how their police reports are just like right out in the lobby. Just...
I would, but I can't do that when he's right there. Maybe I can distract him somehow.
Oh, distraction.
Hey, Sheriff, what's the deal with that bum?
What bum?
The one in the cell.
Oh, I thought it was with you.
Well,
He's not looking.
Shit.
Let's see.
How's the paperwork coming along, Lenny?
okay, I guess. Maybe halfway through.
Perfect. Hey, aforementioned bum. In this cozy environment. Looks lovely.
Looks like an incarcerated bum.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Or who it is.
What? I can't hear you.
Let's turn off the television.
Thanks. That was getting annoying.
No worries. So listen.
Hey,
Hi there.
What are you in for?
Why'd they put you in that cell?
It's all just a big misunderstanding.
Is that so?
Yeah, I didn't mean to steal anything. I was just using my pockets to move the beer to the checkout.
That's the worst excuse I have ever heard.
For your information, I happen to have a deadly fear of shopping carts.
I take my last statement back. This excuse is even worse.
Hey, it wasn't your father who was killed by a shopping cart when you were 8.
I sure hope not.
To be fair, mine wasn't either. It was just Uncle Bob. But that doesn't mean it was any less traumatic, mind you. To this day, I still get nervous breakdowns in grocery stores.
I think I've heard enough, buddy.
You're right. We should stop before the flashbacks begin.
Please, let's stop before the flashbacks begin. So, let's see if he can distract Letty for
You need
us.
to keep the blonde cop out there busy for a while.
I do?
$10 says you do.
I'd say my services in this matter are worth at least $20.
9.
15.
8.
Fine, 10.
7. Good.
So, what am I doing again?
Distract that young cop in the lobby. I don't care how you do it, as long as you keep him occupied for a while.
Okay then, let me know when.
Will do.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some things first.
No wanted posters. I'm disappointed.
Various tools.
An axe, a sledgehammer, and some other heavy tools.
I don't know what we need them for, but let's
Too heavy
see.
to carry around, and too noisy to use in here without getting caught.
How about...
Computer monitor. Probably recovered stolen goods. There's no way small-town cops would be that up to date with the modern world.
I love it. The modern world. It's like a 15-inch.
Just a bunch of boxes filled with office supplies.
Yeah, I remember having one of these. They were heavy.
They look sturdy enough. Wouldn't be able to break them open without taking my time and making a lot of noise.
One of my very first computers I remember I saved up for such a long time to get it was a Sony Vaio. Had a monitor just like that. It was state of the art at the time. Okay, so we cannot open those evidence lockers, but we're going to need to do that as soon as we can. So, time for some distraction.
Hey, the jail is off limits. You shouldn't be in there.
Oh, sorry. I just heard someone yelling. I think that guy in the cell needs some help.
What now?
Or as we like to call him, Sheriff Gullible.
Quick.
Files.
Okay, let's have a look.
1981. Ah, here we go. Individual was encountered on the side of a dirt road, a few miles from Conwell Springs. Walking blindly forward with his eyes open, was identified as Joseph Rain. He appeared to be dirty from head to toe and wet up to his knees. That's important. Mr. Rain was fiercely clutching a small tape recorder, complete with tape. Interesting. He was completely cooperative. He was, the emergency room. Upon routine inspection, a tape recorder was found discarded on the back seat. Filed as evidence in locker number 5. Let's get that tape recorder.
I'm gonna have to get my hands on that recorder. Okay, let's find the key to locker number 5. Got it.
I want to thank Clifftop Games for not, let's wait until he's talking. For not making us go rifle through that desk for the key. I appreciate that.
Lanny, I need you to do something.
How can I help, boss?
It's my mother's birthday this weekend. You'll have to get her a gift.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Here's your $7. Pleasure doing business with you. Alrighty then. Let's open these bad boys up and get some evidence. I find it amusing that that tape recorder would still be in that same locker after like 15 years. But hey. All right, what does that give us? Dictaphone. Dictaphone, how quaint.
Note to self. Remember, the perfect bouquet consists of 3 red roses, a blue violet, and 2 yellow tulips. I've been working on my research in the attic at night. I just don't want her to worry. She has enough to think about with everything that's been going on lately. With Sharon and Kathy. Anyway, I'm getting closer to finding the source. I have a theory, but I need help. I'm gonna have to involve somebody else.
Attic. That gives us definitely a new situation, something we need to take a look at Grandma's house. Thank you very much. See you around. Get yourself a beer with that. All right, let's beat it out of here.
Hey, Kathy, wait.
What?
Do you eat foot? I mean, food?
Absolutely not. I feed on human misery. Relax, Lenny. Yes, I do eat food.
Oh, well, great. Can I buy you food sometime? And also buy food for me? And then maybe we can eat the food together?
I'm thinking, yeah, sure, that sounds fine. The game's like, no. No, God, no. Absolutely not, no. Actually, I would rather eat a foot. We're going to go with absolutely, positively, not on your life. Go buy your boss's mother some lingerie now.
I'm really busy right now. Maybe later.
Oh, okay. See ya.
And that gives us a new location to explore back at the Rain residence, which we will do in the next episode. This should be a 2-part series on this wonderful demo on Kathy Rain, which comes out on Steam on May 5th. May 5th. You can find out more about Kathy Rain at Kathy Rain. I believe it's kathyraingame.com, but I'll put a link in the description below. As always, if you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below, and if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here for more of the exploration of what happened to Grandpa Rain in the Kathy Rain series. Thank you, as always, for watching.